Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I present to you Scrub Zero. So, I've listened to Kyrie's Instagram Live. I've listened to a bunch of people make their comments on the Kyrie Irving situation. The media people. And you know what? I realize a lot of them are like, it doesn't make sense to them. They don't understand it. This, that, and the third. And I'm gonna take a page from from the book of Kwame Brown. Shout out to Kwame Brown Bus Life. Go subscribe to him. Maybe it's not for you to understand. If you ain't get it by now, then it ain't for you to understand. My thing is, why, when we can't understand what someone's thinking, or why they have the thoughts they do, and the views they do, we always try to bring them down because it doesn't make sense to us. We always try to discredit them in some way, or try to guilt them into changing their mind, or some other type of nonsense, or just flat out dismissive of them. Because that don't make sense to me. Not a lick of sense to me. But maybe that's me. Maybe I'm crazy. You know how that gets thrown out there. Maybe if people actually would open their minds, actually step out of their bubble, so to speak. That just all right. This is I listen to what I listen to, and this sounds good to me, and I'm rolling with it. And the questions that get is like, once you have questions about something that go against what you believe, like if you feel a certain way, particularly with the situation that's going on in the world, you feel a certain way, and then someone asks you a question, it's like because someone asks a question because it's not making sense to them, or even not so much not making sense to them, but they want more information. It's only a deflection. You try to shut them down, or you got nothing. Like, why? Because I have questions. I have questions that actually should get answers, and then you try to draw me back to this number and that number, and try to make it like this moral, like I should have this moral compass, like for the betterment of everyone. Like, bro, I know. Let's not go down our moral compass route, because there are people who are homeless. There are people who are looking for meals. This, that, and the third, and I don't hear anyone going on about them. I don't hear all these people that talk about you got to do this for the greater good. Y'all not looking about making their lives better. Y'all are not looking to do things to improve the quality of life for them. So when I hear this greater good talk, it comes to me as a bunch of, quite honestly, bullshit. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It really does. It's you're trying to sell me something that, from my perspective, looks to me you don't believe in. You just, but you, but you've been so conditioned to go about things the way you have, that this is the answer I've come to. And if you're not doing it, oh, you don't agree, now I gotta find a way to put you down, or shame you. And it's like, bro, if you don't agree with it, that's fine. I'm not gonna force you to. And I know there's enough people in the world that's, but like, if you don't come, like, you're gonna come to me with this moral compass stuff, when I'm pretty damn confident y'all ain't, a lot of these people, I'm not gonna say everyone, but there's a lot of these people who will talk like that, but they've never done anything for a community. They've never taken time out their day to really to help people who actually need. There's a bunch of kids, there's adults, like they that are actually in bad situations that they could use a meal or housing or this that and the things that they need that a lot of us have ourselves. But you talk about this moral, but you talk about this is like you bring up the numbers of how many people that have died due to this during this pandemic and whatnot. Like, bro, it doesn't like you talking about making it make sense, but then, but you're giving me information that is convenient for you and your beliefs. That you want to make your point, and you're gonna put out the information that supports what you're talking about, and that's fine. But you can't come to me about moral compass because I know y'all ain't doing nothing for people every day before this pandemic started that needed the help. So, like, you come to me a moral compass, I'm calling bullshit because y'all a bunch of bullshit artists. Like, I'm not for it. I like because I've been listening to different people on different platforms as far as the mainstream media, and it's like, how about, and then you got clowns like Stephen A. Smith saying he was going to leave it alone. If he was really going to leave it alone, y'all never would have talked about it to begin with. Like, when I can ask simple questions and then I'm getting answers, deflections, that basically that isn't answering my question, or you're trying to do this whole song and dance to give me information that I didn't ask for. Why would I, like, this is why people don't have the questions they do, and why they don't trust it, what's going down. Like, listen, why aren't we talking about basic things? Damn, camera, please work with me. But, like, why aren't we talking about just eating healthier, living healthier lifestyles to combat some of this? Because that would help out, would it not? How about we actually, you talk about the social distancing, but then y'all not really going about it that way. And then a lot of this is fear driven, and you're like, I hear people saying they're afraid. Like, listen, there's one thing we all share, is that we're all gonna die one day. That's just a fact. Regardless, it's just a matter of when. It's not if, because no human has lived forever. No human will live forever. Or living creature for that. Like, I haven't seen any creature on this planet that has been around from, like, any creature in today's date that has been around from the start of the world. So, like, listen, I'm not saying that the fears aren't unfounded, but at some point, some of these fears, just like, what are you going to do about it? Are you actually going to, and once again, it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. Not everyone can take this medicine that they're trying to put out. Because first you say you have to get it out, then you try to bribe people. Now you're trying to do this mandate. But people are gonna be people. In fact, no, because a lot of people have become sheeple. They become sheep. So now you're sheeple. I don't want to be a sheeple. I don't want to be part of the sheeple. I just want to be a person. And that's me. Like, if you have your beliefs, I got no problem with that. But, like, it shouldn't be this, I'm pushing, like, it shouldn't be this idea of we're going to push what we believe onto you. Or society as a whole. At least from what I've learned and what I thought was to be the case is should it be we got this country, oh lovely notifications, but we got this, we live in this country, and that notification just threw me off. But we live in this country, we get all kinds of freedoms and whatnot. Obviously, we have to have laws. And you're trying to break those laws, but as long as it's not conflicting with the laws in place, like, what's the issue? But then there's always something or another that is looking to take away freedoms and rights we have. Like, there's always some type of new law or act or something. It's crazy. And the way they're going after Kyrie Irving, they're trying to make him the face of being against the medicine, and then you got people like, listen, and then I hear all this about Kyrie's not sacrificing. Kyrie is doing what he wants. Like, Kyrie's doing what he believes in. When he said it, do you think I want to lose all this money? No, I don't think he wants to lose them. He wants to give up the money. But I do think that he understands that in order to get to where I want, like, in order for him to get to a point that he feels is best for him, he will have to sacrifice the money. He's willing to do it even though he doesn't want to. He's willing to sacrifice not playing this team game that he loves. Like, stop saying that he's not sacrificing. He actually stands for what he believes in. He's sacrificing away a lot of the media people, particularly the former players, couldn't sacrifice. A lot of you bitch ass hoes couldn't sacrifice the money because a lot of y'all have become slaves to the almighty dollar. That's just it. Y'all became slaves to the almighty dollar. I say that, listen, I'm not beholden to the dollar. I understand that this is the world we live in and so on and so forth, but, like, how can you give up all this money and this and that? Like, bro, money comes and goes. Who gives a fuck? Like, his teammates, if he's talked to them and they understand what he's doing, like, then let that be between him and them. But stop trying to talk like you know what he's thinking. You don't know what he's thinking. He doesn't know what you're thinking. I know he doesn't care about what you're thinking. Why are y'all so obsessed with what he's thinking, how he's thinking, and how he's going about it? But, you know, I expect this. And it's sad. It's disappointing. It's frustrating, quite honestly. But we know a lot of people in mainstream media are suckers. They're suckers. And until proven otherwise, ain't nothing gonna change my mind. Until they can prove otherwise that they're not suckers. I'm gonna be unapologetic about it. If you're willing to give up the amount of money Kyrie Irving is to stand for what he believes in, I can tell you that man understands what sacrifice is. He ain't perfect. None of us are perfect. But he knows what he has to do to get to a point, to get to the point where he ultimately wants to get to. And if you don't like it, you ain't gotta like it. Hell, you ain't even gotta respect it. But why are you disrespecting it? Because you can't comprehend it? Maybe it ain't for you to comprehend it. If you can't comprehend it, then stop trying to. But I don't need to discount him or how he's going about things or bring anyone else into the matter. And another thing, as far as sources, listen, unless you actually, like we talk about, people talk about they have their sources and I get it for some of these situations, but for a situation like this, unless you actually hear from that man, what's going on between him and us, unless you actually talk to that man yourself, stop listening to stop taking things from the sources, unless the source is literally from the actual source, which would be Kyrie Irving. But if I go on anymore, man, I would like. I thought we were evolving, but in some cases, it seems like we're going backwards. People don't want to communicate anymore. And then you got some of these guys who think they're really like. Listen, let me tell y'all something, and I think I'm gonna get to this in a separate video, but I listened to Kwame Brown on Jason Whitlock's show. No, I don't like Jason Whitlock. I really don't. Some of the things he said in the past and how he's gone about his business, I can't roll with. But I can admit when he has points that he makes good points, and when Kwame was on the show, he made some good points. Kwame made a lot of good points. Did I agree with every single thing both of them said? I don't think so. I'd have to probably look at it again because I saw it late last night. Well, not late last night. It was this morning, but like it was like 3-4 a.m. and I was still a bit out of it. But like some of what he was referring to, I certainly didn't agree. Jason Whitlock, I certainly didn't agree with it, but like some of it. But there's things in there that I did, and I'm like, all right. Like listen how he goes about his business, how he goes about his business. I don't have to agree with that. I don't even have to respect it, but that's his prerogative. Where he was going with that, it wasn't disrespecting anyone, at least in my opinion. If you found it disrespectful, then that's for you and him to sort out. But I ultimately know what he was getting to as far as the masculinity and how it needs to ultimately be brought back to society. And Kwame Brown's been basically saying that himself. And so, but, you know. But people are just, well, sheeple. They're just sheeple. And it's sad that this is what our society's come to. But it is what it is. In any case, hope everyone's having a great day. Like I said, I'm gonna talk a little more about Jason Whitlock and Kwame Brown Jason Whitlock show a little later, because there were some things I to take from it and some things not to take from it. And I'll touch on a few other things, the Stephon Marbury situation and whatnot too. So, like, leave the man alone, leave Kyrie alone, but they won't, because the media, a lot of the people in the media are pawns. They're puppets. They're so locked in, because, and I heard one guy, I'm not even gonna say his name because it ain't even worth it, but he's like, Kyrie sees everything, he's the one, back to everyone acting like they know what Kyrie's thinking. You don't, but you would never have a conversation with him, and until you have a conversation with him, why the hell are you talking about him the way you are? Y'all, but you know what the society is. So I'm gonna leave it there. Shout out to Kwame Brown Bus Life. So go subscribe to him and other guys who've been up to date with the Kyrie Irving situation I've been talking about. And my man Seahawks Jose Rodriguez. Welcome to HDTV. Strictly no limit to my success. Definitely Ticket TV, because he been on point with it. So definitely shout out to him. Polo Sports Talking ENT, Sports Political Channel of LB, Too Raw for Sports. Check out, he has a few channels, Too Raw for TV and Politically Incorrect. I think he has one more other channel. My apologies, bro. With Ticket, he also has his Pro Basketball Update channel. That's his two main channels. He got a bunch of other channels too. But when you see basketball talk between those two channels, either Ticket TV or Pro Basketball Updates, subscribe to both of them. Who else as far as that? Kwame Brown Best Life, Self Talk, Straight Talk 2.0, Rock and Chop, Rock and Chop, and so many others who've been on point. If I didn't shout you out, I apologize. Y'all know who you are. Um, and yeah, because I listened to see if I can make sense of what a lot of them were saying, and like I heard it, I pretty much got what a lot of them were saying, and a lot of it to me sounds like some bullshit. So Kyrie, keep doing you. Do what you have to. Like listen, whatever's going on with the Nets, they'll figure it out, or they won't figure it out. But it's basketball. It's a game. Who gives a fuck? At the end of the day, apparently all those people that need basketball for they cover basketball because they about their money. I'm not saying not to be about your money, but if money's your priority as opposed to actually living life, uh, to hell with you, honestly. Like, if you explain to me, maybe I can understand. But like, from a lot of the media pundits I heard, I got no use for y'all. Got absolutely no use for y'all. That's why I don't listen to mainstream media anymore. Because I feel like I'm losing brain cells. Somebody might should be not watching. But I had to get an understanding of why everyone's doing what they're doing. I haven't even listened to Nick Wright, and I don't, and probably should, because I'll listen to a few others, but if I do, I do. If I don't, who cares? Hell, you're here long enough. Live your life. If you're for medicine, great. If you're not, great. I just don't agree with the whole mandate nonsense, because there's still a lot of information that isn't being put out there that should be put out there. That should be put out there. There's people going through things that, let's be honest, when we talk about, before I go, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hold you this long, but like when we talk about, black, the amount of black people that end up dying to police brutality and whatnot, talking about the innocent unarmed black men, there's a bunch of stories that never got out. That happened and never got out. So why would I trust that all the numbers in this situation have been put out? and historically we've seen information being suppressed or withdrawn. Why would I believe that all the information that's out there is all the information there is? Just something to think about. Simple things. That's why I'm not big on common sense. But I can tell you one thing. I got some damn good sense. That's me. Leave your comments below. Like the video, share it, subscribe, or don't. Like, I hope you do, but if you don't, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Because I don't need YouTube. I like to do this. I like to interact with people, but if they said you can't do YouTube anymore, oh, okay. I'll still live my life. Because there's more to life than just one thing, like just sports or just YouTube or just money. Like, so on that note, I hope everyone's having a great day. Hope things are going well for you. If not, I hope things get better. I would say if you're concerned about the situation, one of the key things to do, regardless of what route you take, is to live a healthier lifestyle. If you're living a healthy lifestyle, continue living a healthy lifestyle. Get your exercise, eat your fruits, get your vitamins. Like, do those things. And if you really want to start helping people out, learn some trades. Because that, whether it be for yourself or for other people, if you feel it's just for you, but do something but doing those things as far as the eating and whatnot, and then learn some skills that will help you in case, something goes sideways, you could still provide for yourself. That would be my advice. That's what I got for you today. I still got some more videos to put out. So on that note, I shall let you go. I've held you here long enough. I'm Scrub Zero. Catch you on the flip side.